Hello, friends, and welcome back to Movies, Munchies, and Moscato. I am Rhonda.
And I am Rochelle.
We're just a couple of friends who love movies, television, and wine. So if that is something that interests you, please stick around and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Now it's time for some movie and TV news and pop culture discussion. So first up, Henry Cavill is exiting the Witcher series on Netflix after the third season comes out, and then Liam Hemsworth will take over starting for season 4. It's very weird to me.
I know, I'm really kind of bummed, and I think the fans are too.
Oh yeah, when you're used to someone, especially we'll be told of 3 seasons in, it's like...
Yeah, they probably just need to write his Witcher part out and bring in a new Witcher.
Yeah, that's
just like you were saying, there's all sorts of Witchers.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't have to be Geralt. It doesn't have to be a Geralt.
Even though we love Geralt.
Right, exactly. So,
but I do remember us talking about that. It's like, oh, he's going to be a busy guy because he's doing Superman and he's doing this.
Yeah, that's
apparently
true.
not.
That's true. And normally I do like Liam Hemsworth in general. I can't see him being this character, but that's one of those things I guess we'll have to see when it happens. Like, unfortunately, his brother looks more like it, but, you can't put Thor in anything else but what he's been in because
right.
He's already playing Thor. But, you have other people that kind of fit the more look like that, like even like Alexander Skarsgård. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. It's an interesting choice. Interesting choice.
I agree.
Then we have Gwendolyn Christie, John Noble, Elia Shawkat, if I'm saying your right name, and Merritt Weaver, who have joined Severance for season 2 on Apple TV. As you guys know, this is one of the shows I end up really enjoying in its first season, so I'm happy they're adding some more people. I'm sure they're just going to be another part of this office that we haven't met yet in the show, because for those who don't know, it is set in an office setting, and so far the main people have only met one other set of office peeps. It's the weirdest thing. I won't say anymore without giving it away, but so I think it's cool. Gwendolyn Christie, just as a reminder, she's from Game of Thrones. She's also was recently in The Sandman, another series I enjoyed. John Noble, he was most famously in that really freaky series on Fox called it had, I might just forgot the name of it, and it had Jonathan oh my gosh, my brain just left me today. Anyway, really good people, so I'm excited for season 2. Ryan Gosling is set to star in the movie The Fall Guy, which, yes, is based on the 80s TV show. So this is a remake of the 80s TV show. For those who are not, or at least in their 40s, to know what I'm talking about, this is a show that had Lee Majors back in the day. He played a stuntman who got into, of course, real-life adventures with his counterpart, who was a Hollywood star. I only ever watched it, because my parents were into it. My parents were so I watched it because that was what they were watching. So, and Ryan Gosling will be playing the stuntman. They haven't said who's actually playing the Hollywood star to a stuntman, but yeah, I like Ryan Gosling, so that's fine. I'll see it. It's just funny how they're bringing back everything from the 80s to make it new again. Aubrey Plaza, who's currently in White Lotus, has joined Agatha Coven of Chaos on Disney Plus. As you guys know, that's the spinoff for WandaVision, featuring her nemesis Agatha in her own series. So,
gosh, I really need to get caught up.
So I'm looking forward to that. And Agatha, is played by Catherine Hahn, just like in WandaVision. Then The Sandman, speaking of The Sandman, has been renewed for additional episodes.
Really?
It's weird. They're not calling it technically a season 2. They're just saying additional episodes. So I don't know if it's going to be like technically they're going to say it's season 1, part 2, maybe, instead of saying it's a second season. Because it is based off a comic book. It's not a series of comic book. I guess it was just one big comic book is what my understanding is. So that's probably why they don't want to technically call it a season 2. But that's just my guess. I don't know that for sure. I don't know.
Huh.
The Monster series on Netflix, which currently is focusing on Jeffrey Dahmer, has been renewed for seasons 2 and 3 on Netflix. They're going to now make it an anthology series where each season will focus on a different monster. So that's a good idea because, as we know, there's a lot of killers and psychos out there they could, focus on next. So we'll see what comes of that. That's interesting. Also, The Watcher has been renewed for season 2. I have not watched that. I know she started it. Did you finish it?
I did. Yes.
You did finish it?
I did.
Was it a closed-ended end? I asked that because I was wondering if there's more to pick up from that, or maybe if they'll do something completely different for season 2.
Ooh.
Did it end with them leaving the house?
Oh, yes.
It
yes.
did. Okay.
And it's been renewed?
Yeah, for season 2.
That's interesting. So there must be more stories about this house then. Because, yes, they you know,
They did leave.
they did
Okay.
leave it. And then somebody else bought it, you know, and then she was there in it 48 hours. And then the ending credits just basically said, to this day, you know, no one has stayed in the house.
That's
so
interesting. So yeah, I guess we'll see where they go in season 2. Maybe it'll focus on a whole different house. Who knows? Maybe there's other houses out there that have a weird.
Well, I mean, it does say that, you know, this professor who from childhood loved homes. He just loved really cool and different houses like this, the structure of it. And so when he became a professor, he had his class go out and find homes that they liked and write about them. And then apparently this group got together and they would be, you know, whatever house you picked that you loved so much, you became the watcher over it. But this watcher over this particular house doesn't seem to have anything to do with those kids. Mm-hmm. And because it's so different and it's very scary in a way. It's almost paranormal. So that's why, you know, nobody knows. So I don't know how they're going to go with this.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. They weren't clear other than saying it was renewed. So
Okay.
I guess we'll see. I know, that's interesting.
I did like it, though.
And then finally, Westworld has been canceled now after 4 seasons on HBO.
good.
As y'all know, I wasn't a fan of this very last season. It was very blah. I feel like it went way far to the left or from where it was before. So yeah, that's not surprising to me. I only wish they'd had another season, only if they could possibly make it better and veer back on the right path. But I guess it's not meant to be. So I'm just gonna pretend that the first 3 seasons were it and pretend the 4th season didn't happen. That's how I'm gonna look at it. It's like, yeah, it was very disappointing in my opinion. And now we have some movies and TV shows that were out last week and this week, since we did not have an episode last week. So for last week, we have Armageddon Time. This is a movie in theaters and stars Anne Hathaway, Anthony Hopkins, and Jeremy Strong. So this is a coming-of-age story about the strength of a family and the generational pursuit of the American dream. I did look at a little, I think it was just on TV, the trailer for it, and it looked interesting. I couldn't tell exactly the time period it was set in, but it is basically a coming-of-age story between 2 different kids, a young black kid and then a young white kid, and their different experiences during the time, which I want to say it looks like maybe late 60s, early 70s.
Oh, yeah,
so,
that would make sense.
Yeah, so that does look super serious and, yes, I'm sure drama-filled. Then we have Blockbuster. This is a new series on Netflix and stars Randall Park, Melissa Fumero, and J.B. Smoove. So operating the last Blockbuster video store in the United States, Timmy Yoon and his employees fight to stay relevant. I actually do want to watch this. The trailer didn't make me laugh. I know it's supposed to be a comedy, but I actually didn't laugh at all at the trailer, but I'm still just interested because Blockbuster, you know, I worked there for a time in their music department, and so I don't know, just nostalgia for me. I'd be interested just to see.
Yeah.
It may be funnier once you see it versus just watching the trailer, so we'll see. Buying Beverly Hills. This is a reality series on Netflix. So this follows the agents and clients within Mauricio Umansky's billion-dollar brokerage. Now, he is the husband to Kyle Richards from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, for those who don't know. So with a talented group of realtors comes high stakes in LA's luxury real estate market. I can tell you that over the weekend, just on Twitter, so many people, if they were real people, I don't know, were so anti this series, which I thought was interesting.
Really?
I didn't go and watch it. They just say that Mauricio comes across as a real a-hole on it. And I was like, which, I mean, I can maybe see. I mean...
Oh, because the ones on Selling Sunset don't.
Right.
The twins... Right. Yeah.
And then he's really, you know, which I also see. He's it's a nepotism business. I mean, his oldest daughter works there, and then Kyle's oldest daughter, who isn't through him, but from her first husband, oldest daughter works there as well. And I guess he just gives preferential treatment to them. Is that shocking? No, honestly not. But again, people were just bashing him based on those two things.
Yeah, that is interesting.
So, I like those, obviously, because I watched Sun and Sunset too. I like these type of shows. I'd forgotten about it, honestly, so I never even checked it out to see what all the hubbub was about, to see if he really comes across that way to me. But so stay tuned, we'll see. Then we have Manifest season 4, part 1 on Netflix, starring Josh Dallas, Melissa Roxburgh, and Matt Long. So in Montego Bay, it's not Montego Bay, it's just Montego Air. Flight 828 landed safely after a turbulent but routine flight. The crew and passengers were relieved. But in the span of a few hours, the world had aged 5 years. So this is just picking up where season 3 ended when it was originally airing on NBC. And as you guys know, I already said that I binged all 3 seasons once I heard Netflix picked it up. So I was like, okay, I can watch it now, knowing I'm not going to end it on a cliffhanger. They're going to close it out very well. So I will be talking about this in what we watched this week, because I did indeed watch this.
Yes, you did.
Then we have Enola Holmes 2. This is the second movie on Netflix, starring Millie Bobby Brown and Henry Cavill. See, Henry is all over the place.
That's so funny. I don't even remember him being in that, and I started watching it. Oh, shocking.
And you remember that he played her brother?
No.
He plays Sherlock.
Didn't.
Not even just her brother. He is Sherlock.
You know what? I don't think maybe I got far enough to know that.
Oh, okay.
I got to where she was on a train or was going to a train, and that's all I got.
Okay.
So, and this seems like right up my alley, right? I love Sherlock Holmes.
I think you'd like it. Definitely like it. And I like his take on it. It's always cool to see different takes on it. Say from like him versus say Robert Downey Jr. and
and that was so much more comedy.
I like this. So Enola Holmes takes on her first case as a detective, but to unravel the mystery of a missing girl, she'll need help from friends and her brother Sherlock. So, I haven't watched this yet because, again, I was in manifest mode for the most part. So this is something on my list this weekend to do. Then we have the movie Causeway. This is on Apple TV and stars Jennifer Lawrence and Brian Tyree Henry. So Lindsay, a U.S. soldier, experiences a traumatic brain injury during her tour in Afghanistan, which forces her to return home. She struggles to return to her daily life with her mother as she waits for her eventual redeployment. This looks interesting. Jennifer Lawrence hasn't been in anything in a while, so
I know she had a baby and
that's
stuff.
That's true. She got married, had a baby. She's kind of like chilling. Taking her time, because she was nonstop there for years. So I can understand her just wanting to
She has plenty
to chill
of money,
out.
apparently.
Yeah. Then we have My Policeman. This is a movie on Amazon and stars Emma Corwin from The Crown, as well as Harry Styles, who also is all the rage as well. So Tom, a policeman in 1950s Britain, falls in love with a school teacher on the Brighton coast. However, he soon begins a passionate same-sex affair with a museum curator, despite homosexuality being illegal. It was illegal in the 50s in Britain?
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
I don't know why. Okay.
I think it's been illegal for quite some time.
I don't think it was ever illegal in the U.S., though. It just was looked down upon. I don't think you could get arrested for it.
Well, what was illegal was anal sex.
Oh, okay.
So that is illegal.
Okay.
So if it still is the case, I don't know, but because I don't think it is, but that was illegal.
Okay. I mean, it's not. I know it's not the case now in Britain, but I'm just surprised.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, and then finally for last week we have The Independent. This is a new series on Peacock and stars Jodie Turner-Smith, Brian Cox, who I'm like, how do you have any time off Succession to do anything else? But that's fine. So Brian Cox from Succession, John Cena, and Ann Dowd, who again, Ann Dowd is from The Handmaid's Tale. Don't know where she finds the time for this, but that's cool. So a young journalist discovers a conspiracy involving a U.S. presidential candidate that could change the election and the fate of the country. Now, you might think John Cena is a presidential candidate, because that was my thought when I first read about this. Oh, no. It's Ann Dowd. Ann Dowd, who plays, the aunt on Handmaid's Tale. So it's an older candidate. And Jodie Turner-Smith is actually playing the journalist. So, I don't know. I'm actually kind of curious because of the people in it. I'm just like...
Brian?
John Cena along with freaking Brian Cox. Like, what?
Who's Brian Cox?
He plays the dad on Succession.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, that is a good series, by the way.
So, yeah, that's one that's on my list to start. So, but yeah, I'm interested just because of, who's in this. So, we'll have to see. Okay, so... This week, we have Black Panther, Wakanda Forever in theaters, starring Angela Bassett, Lupita Nyong'o, and Letitia Wright. So Queen Ramonda, Shuri M'Baku Okoye, and the Dora Milaje, oh my gosh, I can say that word so good. The Dora Milaje fight to protect their nation from intervening world powers in the wake of King T'Challa's death. As the Wakandans strive to embrace their new chapter, the heroes must band together with Nakia and Everett Ross to forge a new path for their beloved kingdom. So this is part 2 to the original Black Panther that did star Chadwick Boseman. I am scheduled to see this on Friday, so I will give a review of this next week. But it looks very emotional. We know it's going to be from the trailer. We know it's going to be emotional. It looks really good, though. So I think I'm partly going to cry, and then the action part, you'll be like, yeah. So I'm looking forward to this. Then we have The Crown Season 5, which is also the final season.
I'm looking forward to this one.
No, there is one more season. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It has been renewed for one final season. So Season 5, there's still a Season 6 coming.
And it is out.
Yes, this is out on Netflix, starring now, new cast for these last 2 seasons. Imelda Staunton as the Queen. Elizabeth Debicki is playing Princess Diana. And then we have Dominic West playing Prince... Well, not William. Who's the dad?
Yeah,
Prince Charles. Gosh, lost his name. Anyway, so this is just continuing. As you know, she's been into this, not me, so I don't know.
I love it. Imelda Staunton is the one from Harry Potter.
Yes,
And I think
Professor
it's
Umbridge.
Professor Umbridge.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I know she's going to be good. I think I'm so excited.
I do. Yeah, she'll probably be good
this
as well.
is what I'm very much looking forward to watching.
And you're all up to date, huh? So you
Yes,
watched. Okay,
I am.
so
Yes.
she's good to go. on that.
You shocked?
Right?
I'm shocked.
She was good to watch this Charlotte this weekend. Then we have Falling for Christmas. This is a right up my alley movie on Netflix, and stars Lindsay Lohan returning to acting, and then Cord Overstreet, who's from Glee. This actually looks really cute from the trailer. I think she looks great. The acting looks on point. So a young, newly engaged heiress has a skiing accident in the days before Christmas. After she is diagnosed with amnesia, she finds herself in the care of the handsome cabin owner and his daughter. Like I said,
Sounds
this actually
a little
looks...
bit like Overboard.
It kind of, yes. When I saw it, actually, you're right. It does kind of seem like that.
Just Christmas Overboard.
Yeah, it doesn't look actually cheesy. Like it looks way less cheesy than say like a Hallmark movie does. I think this actually will be very.
Oh well, I'm
good.
excited.
So
I'm sure you're going to watch it.
I will definitely watch it.
You have to let us know.
I will definitely watch it and let y'all know. Then finally, we have The Calling. This is another new series on Peacock and stars Karen Robinson, Michael Mosley, and Jeff Wilbush. So, guided by a deep sense of spirituality and religious principles, NYPD detective Avram is left to question his own humanity when a seemingly routine investigation turns upside down. So, this looks interesting as well. Peacock is just getting some interesting series, I swear,
know.
coming at them. So that's good.
Well-
and just so you guys know, speaking of Hallmark, I almost forgot to mention this. If you have Peacock and you weren't notified, they now are streaming Hallmark movies, you guys. So if you're like me and don't have cable for you to watch the Hallmark channel, this is the way. This is your way to do that. Since you're already subscribing to Peacock. So I'm excited so I can watch some Hallmark Christmas movies because I do like them, even though some of them are cheesy. It's still a good holiday feel is all I care about. So for the holiday time.
Well, and just, you want to venture to guess what starts on Sunday? This Sunday?
No.
Yellowstone.
Oh, I thought it was next weekend.
The 13th. November
Oh,
13th.
I don't know why I thought it was next weekend.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm sure glad it's not because I'm super excited. I can't wait. So for all you Yellowstone fans, mark your calendars. It's November 13th, so Sunday.
Okay, awesome. And just remember, you can't watch it on Paramount Plus or Peacock. That's strictly for reruns. You have to have Paramount itself. So again, as a non-cable user, I have to, I'll just say it, I piggyback off my parents in order to see it. So
Yes, thank you for reminding everybody because that is
yeah,
that's a big deal.
it's a very weird.
I know. I don't
know
understand
why they've done it
correlation
that way.
between the two of them.
Yeah, it's very odd.
We need to have a chat with Peacock and Paramount.
Be like, get your stuff together. Switch this around.
I think like if you have Xfinity or cable, I think we do have Paramount. Is it Paramount or Paramount Plus?
You cannot watch it on Paramount Plus. It's just the regular
It's
Paramount.
Paramount. Okay. So
Which you can only have
that.
if you have a cable subscription.
Correct.
Which is why I have to piggyback off my parents' cable subscription to
Well,
watch
I wouldn't say that too loud.
I know.
They're coming for you, Rhonda.
Right? Right now, I feel like they're focused on Netflix for that, so I don't worry about regular cable for right now.
Woohoo!
So what we've been watching this week. So for me, I watched Miss Marvel, the first season on Disney Plus. I held off and held off. I think I probably mentioned this back when I was watching Hawkeye or something of one of those series. This looked like it was going to be super, super cheesy, and so I'd held off. I knew I'd probably eventually have to watch it because it connects to Captain Marvel movie number 2 that comes out next year. So I was just going to put it off until then, but I'd heard such good things about it, and so I gave it a whirl. And you guys, this actually very surprised me. It's based on a more recent comic book about a young 15-year-old girl who gets powers. She is of Indian descent and is a Muslim, and it's very interesting how they weave in her history, her religion, all that into it in a very interesting. I mean, I learned things I had no they used some old real TV footage in there.
Wow.
About when they were trying to flee from certain areas. It was just very good. It focused more on the family dynamics than the powers itself, which I thought was very good about it. The villain wasn't just one dimensional or anything like that, so that's good. It was just a really good, and she was just very. She wasn't annoying. She wasn't one of those annoying teenagers, and I don't know. It was just a very feel good show. So I would definitely give this a 4 wine corker for me.
And who is she again?
So Miss Marvel, she has. She can basically, her power is that she can shoot. She has to wear a special bracelet, Indian bracelet that was passed down. But the bracelet helps activate her powers, which is shooting crystal-like things out of her hand, so she can make walls. She can make stepstones. She can do barriers, basically, to help. She can make herself bigger in order to, stomp on certain things, if that helps. I'm sure there's even more to it, but it was only a 6-episode season, so it was very short. But, she is in the series, a very big Captain Marvel fan, which, as people, if you don't know, she's played by Brie Larson in the movies. And so her whole thing is to be like Captain Marvel, hence, I guess, where her new title now comes from, which is Miss Marvel. So at the end, it did say you will see her again in the next Captain Marvel movie, which comes out in 2023.
So is this character in comic books then? Is it part of comic books?
Yeah, like I said, this is a newer comic book series. It only started, I think it said maybe 2 years ago is all. So it's a fairly new one.
Oh, okay.
So I'm actually surprised because it is fairly new that something like this got made so quickly. But I guess they probably thought of where can we go now that we're trying to go into different phase of Marvel movies. A lot of the older Marvel actors are done, and so I think they're trying to bring in probably younger to keep it going, which that makes sense. And so I actually cannot wait to see how the team up between her and Captain Marvel goes in the next movie. So I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, it was just very, very good.
Okay.
And then finally, I watched Manifest Season 4, Part 1 on Netflix, you guys. Oh, it's still so good. We got a lot of answers. I'm very happy about that. But what exactly is going on? As usual with everything, there has to be some love triangles. That had a resolution. I was very happy about. You had your angst and grief in there as well, but it was very well balanced. I thought I can't stand the villain in this. Unfortunately, that's the only downside of this series. I don't like who the villain ended up being, but once you knew who it was, I just didn't like them being. I just didn't like how they acted, I guess you could say. But it's a very good series, you guys. I would really give it a try. I mean, it takes a while to get through, but if you're dedicated like I am and we're sucked in, it's no problem because the first 3.
Were you this sucked in though with the first Manifest?
The first season?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, I liked it, but then I don't know. For some reason, I didn't. I think it's because I started the second season. I liked the first season. I started the second season, but then somehow I got lost. I wasn't keeping up on it, and then I got lost and didn't get to finish it. So.
Okay. Yeah, to me, the first season, I guess a lot of things, was the best.
Oh, okay.
It was in the third, honestly, where it got wobbly for me. Once
okay.
I found myself, I will admit, I found myself in season 3, a couple episodes, just seriously fast-forwarding a lot of it through. I would fast forward enough so I could kind of get the gist, because some of the episodes were like, what? No.
Okay.
Okay. But no, I thought the first 2 were definitely great. And then this fourth one, back up to par. So
good.
It was a good time.
All right. Well,
so I definitely recommend it. It's another 4 wine corker for me.
Awesome. Well, good. So, get to me here. So I've started 4 million movies, or series, whatever. And I am trying to get through some of them that I've started. But I did start watching, because it just grabbed me, Killer Sally. And we talked about this the last time. And it's Sally McNeil and Ray McNeil. And they were both these crazy bodybuilders in the early 90s. And just, on steroids galore. And she was accused of killing him, and she did. She killed him brutally, actually. But, they say it was, she says it's because he was abusive with her, and then other people say that, he did seem to be abusive with her, but because she didn't kill him right away, it was later that was the discrepancy. But both of them, I mean, she was a hothead. She would beat up anybody, too. And you know what? Steroids make you mad. They make you mean.
Right.
And so I think with both of them being on steroids, can you imagine? And even their poor kids, when you're listening to them. So it's a great docuseries, I guess is what it is. And then you'll hear from her point of view, obviously. So... I'm just not sure what to buy at this point. So anyway, and then I started watching this great show. It's called Inside Man with Stanley Tucci and David Tennant. And so for those of you who've watched Broadchurch, which is it's a thriller as well. He is in Broadchurch and he plays one of the lead detectives. Well, he's a vicar in this one. And a prisoner on death row in the U.S. and a woman trapped in a cellar under an English vicarage. I don't know how to say that. Vicar. He's a vicar?
Yeah.
Vicarage. That's where he lives. Right?
Oh, okay.
Anyway, they cross paths in an unexpected way. So you have this dude on death row who's got kind of the sixth sense or other powers. I don't know. Who people actually go to and they bring their cases like, my dad went missing 5 years ago. We've done everything. We can't figure it out. The police can't figure it out. And then they bring what they have to him, and then he somehow figures it out.
Oh, okay.
But yet he's accused of killing his wife very brutally. So I'm not sure what the two or how the two tie together, but it's like two complete separate stories, and now they're starting to merge. So it's really good. I like it. So far, so good. So anyway.
Yeah, I saw it was only 4 episodes. I was like, that's not bad at all.
No,
anyway.
no. So, so that's what I'm watching, and I'm super excited for The Crown. Shoot, I got to get through these so I can watch The Crown.
Just get through a lot, folks.
I know.
I told her, I'm still waiting to hear what she thought of the end of Outlander, for hell's sake.
Oh, for the love of Pete, that's true. But you know what? I love Outlander.
Right? Exactly.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week. Thanks so much for listening. We had fun, as usual, and we hope you enjoyed it as well. Please give us a review or comment, as it really helps us out. And please follow us on Instagram at movies_munchies_moscato. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging.
Thank you, guys.